Okay.
3, 2, 1, action.
Okay, so for quicksort arrays, what our program does is it will take the total size of the number of the array and divide by 2, and that will become our P or pivot value. Then it makes the first value the left and the last value the right. So then when it goes into the function, what it does, it'll start off by doing this. It'll compare left to the pivot. If it is greater, then there's a problem because all greater integers have to be on this side. So this one it'll come up for a second. So it's right there. We're just going to hold on to that, and we'll come back to that one after we check the right side. So it also checks the right side, and so 5 is greater than 1, so that's good. So then our value now moves here. 7 is greater 1, so that works too. So now the pivot and the right are the same value. So what'll happen next is that since it's done checking the left and right values, it will end up switching the right and the left. So it'll switch like this. Then what it does is it'll take everything this side, so it'll redo it with all the whole array from this value on, and so it'll restart. So what it'll do, so now I can just take off this left, is it'll divide these, and it'll find the middle value. So now this is our pivot point. And then this is the left, and that's the right. And so what it'll do, it'll check again if this one is less than that, which it is, so that's fine. So now this is the left value. And then it'll check the right against the pivot, and so the right, that's too small because the integer smaller than 3 must be on this side. So now what it'll do is it'll switch the left and the right value. So 3 and 2 will switch places. And now you can see that this side of the array has been sorted. So then what it'll do is it'll take our left value, or previously left value, and everything beyond, so this way, so from 3, 7, and 5, it'll take all of these to sort them. So it'll restart again, and what it'll do is it'll calculate the pivot, so the middle point, and that'll be 7. Then 3 will be the left, and 5 will be the right. First it checks left against the pivot. So it's less than that, so that's good. And so now this is the left. And so here, it checks the right against the pivot, but the right is actually less than the pivot. So what it'll do then, since it's already checked the left side, is it'll just switch the right value with the left value. And it'll do this. So as you can see now, the array has been sorted. And that is how we use quicksort to sort random integers into a sequence.
Yay! And also, Miss Kirby, I just have a small note. Our array, we're using asterisks instead of numbers to better represent how it's sorted visually. So that's why we need, we don't have, we've checked it and it is possible to go out of 1,000. We checked it with numbers before, but since it's asterisks now, our screen isn't wide enough to accommodate for the 1,000, the hundreds of random numbers. It would be 230, and so we have to do it with smaller numbers just because it's asterisks and it won't accommodate that far.